Welcome to Dr. Dean's bonus video titled, Will Price Transparency Lower Drug Costs for Consumers? The unfortunate answer is no, but it could be. First, let's agree about common words we use all the time. In everyday life, the price is the same as the charge. That is what you pay when you buy. In healthcare, the price is also the charge, but the consumer doesn't pay, a third party does, and always pays less, often a lot less, than what is on the price tag. For instance, Medicaid typically pays a doctor 10 cents to 25 cents of every dollar on their charges. Take it or leave it, says the government. Cost is a word that is often misused. In everyday life, cost is the total expenses necessary to sell a product or a service plus the profit. But in healthcare, cost is not calculated that way at all. It is computed or allocated and is not accounted. In fact, no one knows the price of anything in healthcare. Years ago, I asked my hospital CFO, that's the Chief Financial Officer, how much it cost to do a cardiac catheterization, a procedure I did 3-4 times a week. He went to his computer and told me a number. When I asked him how he knew that number, he said, simple. I divided the number of caths you did by the amount of money that we assigned to the cath lab. He had no idea about the true cost, such as the cost of nursing hours or the catheters I used or the expense of the lab itself. So, whenever you hear a politician talk about lowering costs or driving down prices, remember, for them the words price and cost don't have the same meaning as when you and I use those words. The cost to the consumer of medications is simply unaffordable. For those with hepatitis C, the price for a course of Epclusa is $10,393. For diabetics, one vial of insulin can cost over $1,000, and Mylan charges $600 for a 2-pack of life-saving EpiPen. So, we've got to do something. There are only two ways to reduce the costs to consumers of any product or service, whether you're looking at buying a sweater, hiring a physician, or purchasing a medication. Those two ways are price controls or market forces. The government can control prices, that is, costs to consumers, by implementing price controls. Washington already dictates what it will pay for physician services in both Medicare and Medicaid. So the feds could simply mandate drug prices, say $20 for a vial of insulin. That would be an example of centralized economic regulation called price controls. If the cost to the manufacturer is more than the price that he has paid, that is, the cost to the consumer under controls, the manufacturer either stops making insulin or starts making a cheaper, less potent form, or goes out of business. Either way, price controls lead to shortages and low quality. The now defunct Soviet Union proved this point with its free goods and services, which soon became non-existent goods and services. Price controls stifle innovation. No one will take the risk of research and development, so a cure for breast cancer will never appear, and the currently available cures for hepatitis C would be a mirage rather than a reality. One can also lower cost to consumers via a decentralized approach called the free market. There, the price or the cost to the consumer is driven down by two market forces. Number one, because the consumer pays directly for what he or she consumes rather than any third party, the consumer demands the lowest price. Number two, in a free market, sellers compete for consumers' dollars. If the price is too high, consumers won't buy and sellers can't sell. The result is the lowest possible price for anything in a free market. The effects of free market forces are well established. They create the best goods and services in the greatest quantity at the lowest prices. Just recall the availability, the price, or the quality of a cell phone or LASIK surgery 30 years ago compared to today. With all that as introduction, we can now answer the title question: will price transparency lower drug costs to consumers? Government-mandated price transparency will force sellers to show their drug prices, and thus they will compete with each other. So that should drive down selling prices. But in healthcare today, sellers compete for contracts with government and with insurance companies. They do not compete for consumers' dollars, and thus the consumer will not realize any of these possible savings from price transparency. Furthermore, government-mandated price transparency will create even more bureaucracy, which will generate additional spending likely to cost more than any possible savings. Finally, contrast in your mind government-mandated price transparency to a free market environment where consumers demand price transparency and there is no need for government regulation. In a free market, the automatic transparency will drive down prices. The problem is that healthcare is not a free market at all. If we want to lower drug prices to consumers, we need a free market, not government-issued price transparency or price controls. If you have not already subscribed to the website We Can Fix Healthcare, check it out at deanwaldman.com. That's Dean with an E. Just click on the blue blinking icon on the top right of the banner. There is no charge for any of my bonus material. And encourage your friends, neighbors, and colleagues to subscribe as well. Also, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to view the latest videos or ones you may have missed. Just click on my image to your right. Thank you for watching and for being part of the cure for our sick healthcare system.